Good evening and welcome to The Better's Edge with your host Jake. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to my crib, actually. As you can see, I have the stairwell there behind me leading up to the second floor. You guys, over time, I guess we'll get a chance to see the rest of my house. But welcome. First and foremost, before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I would say to those of you that are new, but everybody that's watching is new, seeing as this channel just began. Today's video number one. For those of you that know me, I'm running hot right now, up 60 units over the course of the last 3 months in all sports. For those of you that don't know me, everything is documented. But I figured with all the experience that I have, all the knowledge that I have, all the time that I put into this, all the years that I've put into this, no better time than now to share all the knowledge that I have with the rest of the community. The idea is for me to provide not only winners, but knowledge to the community. I'd like to build a community here with obviously not only followers, but like-minded individuals that want not only winners on a daily basis, but people that can kind of congregate and get together, which will take some time, of course, to share their opinions, their knowledge, their bad beats over time. I'm sure we've all experienced them. We're going to experience them more as we continue to play this game. But where everybody can kind of congregate and discuss on a daily basis, you know, things that they like, things that they don't like as far as games and plays for that day, their opinions, and we can communicate and be successful in the long run. Ultimately, that's what everybody wants to accomplish. But I'm here to give you guys winners, and I don't want to chat too much about nonsense. I'm not too gimmicky. I get straight to the point and give you guys what you guys are all here for, which is winners and bangers. So let's get straight into it. I got something that I absolutely love, and I got a pretty big card coming for you guys this weekend. Obviously, we have college football tomorrow. We got baseball playoffs tomorrow. We got NFL on Sunday. It's a pretty heavy packed weekend when it comes to sports this time of year. I'm not a volume player, letting you guys know this in advance. I don't have a ton of plays each and every single day. I might have one play a day through the week. And then when you get into the weekend, obviously with the heavier slate with college football, baseball, and as I mentioned, NFL on Sunday, you'll probably get, closer to 2, maybe 3 plays over the course of a weekend. So 2 on a Saturday, or 3 on a Saturday, and 2 on a Sunday, or maybe 3 on a Sunday. And then as I mentioned, Monday through Friday, maybe 1 play per day, sometimes maybe no plays. But as I mentioned, I'm not a huge volume type player. You're never going to see 5, 6, 7 bets from me on a given day, on any day. So let's get straight into it. Baseball tomorrow, divisional series. We got 4 really, really good series coming at you guys, at us tomorrow. Really entertaining series from a preview standpoint, but the one that really stands out above all of them for me is the Detroit Tigers and Seattle Mariners. I've been following this Tigers team for a very, very long time. This is one of the worst teams in baseball right now. They don't do anything very well for anybody that follows them. I did have them beating the Cleveland Indians in the last series, but coming into this series, it's a completely different animal that they're facing. This Seattle Mariners team is a much better team than the Cleveland Indians. Right off break, it's going to be much more difficult in that sense, because the Indians are not a very good baseball team. They snuck into the playoffs mainly because the Detroit Tigers, for the last 70 some odd games, have been one of the worst teams in baseball. You're talking about a team that had the best record in baseball somewhere near the All-Star break, and somewhere right around after the All-Star break has been one of the worst teams in baseball. If not a bottom 5 team in baseball record-wise, definitely somewhere up there. I want to say coming into this Indian series, they were 28-41 in their last 69 games, and then obviously they won 2 out of the last 3 to prevail in that series. But this team is bad. And when I say that they're bad, they do almost nothing well. Yes, they have Tarek Skubal, and Skubal is a hell of a player. One of the best pitchers in baseball. He's lined up to go in game 2. But this is only one player. And even when Skubal pitches, oftentimes, recently at least, they don't win those games. But But let's not mess around. Let's get straight into it. My pick, best pick, probably the best pick of this entire, I want to say weekend, but it could obviously prolong a little bit longer than this weekend, and it most likely will because they're going to have to win 3 games. But the best bet for this weekend entirely is the Seattle Mariners series price. You can catch them at DraftKings. Last I checked, was minus 165. For me, that's a short price. You're getting a far better team in every facet of the game. I'm talking pitching. I'm talking about relief pitching, starting pitching, batting. They have the home field advantage. The Tigers are just not a very good baseball team. They don't do a whole lot well. Their lineup is terrible. They put runners on base, and they do nothing with them. They're consistently having runners in scoring position, and they're not producing anything. This is a team, I want to say probably over the course of the last 12, 13 games, has scored more than 3 runs 3 times in 14, 15 games, dating back to the regular season. This series has only really one concern for me from a standpoint of backing the Mariners. And that's when this new series, playoff series format began in 2022, teams with first round buys have a 500 record, I want to say. 6 of those teams have won the divisional series, and 6 of those teams have lost in the divisional series. That's not a great record with this new format, obviously. You're talking about a team with a little bit of a longer layoff. They haven't played in probably a week or so, whatever the case is. And the Tigers obviously are coming off a 3-game series, which they've prevailed, winning 2 out of 3 against the Cleveland Indians. That's the one concern that I have about this series in general, is you're getting a team with the Tigers that are playing. They're in rhythm, if you will, as close to in rhythm as you can for a team that can't play very well. As I mentioned to you, I backed the Tigers against the Indians. I had them winning that series only because the Indians are one of the only teams that were in the playoffs that are just as bad as the Tigers. They had Tarek Skubal going in that series. They ended up losing game 1, which he pitched, which I mentioned a moment ago. Even when he pitches, this team recently doesn't win his starts. But that's not going to be enough going into this series. And the fact that the Mariners, haven't played in basically a week is not enough to deter me from this bet. You're getting the Mariners at minus 165 to win this series. And for me, as I mentioned, that's a short number. This number should probably be closer to minus 185, 190. People would say, well, doesn't that deter you from making this bet? In the past, I might have thought twice about taking this bet because the number does appear on my end a little bit short. But right now, the way that the Tigers are playing baseball, there's not enough to convince me to take the Tigers in this situation. As I mentioned, their lineup is absolutely terrible. They do nothing well. They don't make contact with the ball. They don't play smart baseball. They can't manufacture runs. They're not providing the deep ball as far as the home run anywhere in that lineup. Their pitching outside of Skubal is not very good. You're looking at a team, as I mentioned previously, that just doesn't do a whole lot very well. The Mariners starting pitching, significantly better as far as depth is concerned. The Mariners bullpen, significantly better in general from top to bottom than the Tigers bullpen. And the lineup, from a full season perspective, maybe not significantly better than what the Tigers produced, but when you're talking about the last 50, 60 games, as I mentioned, this Tigers team is just not playing very well at all from an offensive standpoint. Then you factor in the fact that this is a place to play in Seattle that's going to be very, very raucous. You guys know it's been a long time since the Mariners have played playoff baseball successfully in that town. And when that team gets going, that town in Seattle, as good as any park in the country, they're going to be up for it. Their fans are going to be up for it. And when you compile all this information together, it just doesn't seem to me like the Detroit Tigers have enough to prevail in this series. When you look at the way that the Tigers play baseball, there's really only one way for them to win the game. And that's for them to have strong starting pitching to limit the opposing team to scoring more than just a couple of runs and for the Tigers to win a very close game. Very, very seldom, again, especially in the course of the last 50, 60 games, that this team is outscoring the opposition. The Mariners just have too much power in their lineup. They have too much from a starting pitching standpoint and way too much depth and strength in their bullpen for them to really struggle mightily against this Tigers opponent. This is the bet of the weekend. I'm telling you guys right now, there's two ways that you guys can approach this. I'm taking the Mariners minus 165 to win this series. Officially on this channel, the very first bet is going to be Mariners minus 165 to win the divisional series against the Detroit Tigers. If you guys don't want to lay minus 165, if you guys think that price is a little bit heavy, the juice is a little bit high, and you don't want to take it, there is a separate bet that I would advise you guys to take that I don't have a problem if you guys do take, that I'm not going to count against my record because I'm not actually going to take it. But as I mentioned, it's a bet that I do like, that I also think will win. On DraftKings, it's the only place that I've seen it available so far. You can take the you can take the Seattle Mariners to win game one and to win the series at plus 100. The reason why I like this bet is because you're getting the Seattle Mariners to win game one, and you're getting them at a number at plus 100, which is even money, to win this series. Assuming that they win game one, taking a look at the matchup for game one, the Detroit Tigers are throwing out an opener. They're starting Troy Melton, who got rocked in his last appearance against the Cleveland Indians. He's not a pitcher of anywhere near the same caliber as Gilbert that the Seattle Mariners are throwing out there tomorrow. So to cut this video short, to get straight to the point, the reason why I like this bet is because I do think the Mariners are going to win game one. It's a major advantage from the pitching department, and you're getting them to basically win the series with game one at plus 100. The reason why I don't like it is because you're taking the Mariners where they have to win game one in order to win this bet, obviously. I think the Mariners will win this series no matter what happens in game one. We got to face Skubal in game two going down 0-1. I don't have an issue with that. We'll find a way to prevail in the series even if we lose game one. So I don't like risking the entire series just on game one. However, with that said, game one is by far going to be the biggest line that we're going to see in this series. The Mariners right now are laying 220, 225 in game one because of the Tigers throwing out an opener out there. They don't have Skubal going tomorrow. They don't have Flaherty going tomorrow. They don't have Bynes going tomorrow. As I mentioned, they're throwing out Melton, who's not one of their best pitchers. However, it's baseball, and as we know, anything can happen. So we bet responsibly, and we don't just throw everything out on the line on game one. So the reason why I like that bet, as I mentioned, is I think the Mariners are going to win tomorrow. It's a hostile environment. This team has been waiting to play this series for a week now. The fans have been up for it. You know how Seattle fans are in NFL. You guys know how Seattle fans are in baseball. They get up for their team. They back their team. It's going to be no different tomorrow. It's a night game on the East Coast. I want to say it's like 5 or 6 o'clock out there on the West Coast. So the fans will have plenty of time to get up for this game on a Friday, late afternoon, early evening. But with that said, the reason why I don't like it and the reason why I'm not taking it myself is because it still is baseball. And in baseball, anything can happen in one game. And I do think that laying the entire series on game one, forcing us to win game one, which I do think we're going to win, but forcing us to win game one in order to win the bet, there's too much risk there involved. Ultimately, as I mentioned, the M's are going to win this series one way or another, whether that's by winning game one and prevailing in 4 or 5 games or even 3 games, or even if that's losing in game one and figuring out a way to win the series thereafter. This is the first bet that I'm giving you guys. It's a winner. The Mariners minus 165 to win the series against the Detroit Tigers. I'll be back tomorrow morning providing you guys with college football winners, NFL winners on Sunday. It'll be a daily video from me giving you guys my winners. As I mentioned, don't expect a ton of bets from me on a daily basis, 1 or 2 bets throughout the week on a daily basis, and then weekend we'll have a little bit more, obviously, with the slate of games just being much more when you factor in college football and NFL during the weekend. But with that said, guys, welcome to the channel. Bang the Seattle Mariners to win the series. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Enjoy the channel. We're going to grow together. We're going to win together. And we're going to make this shit blow up.